Hi. So today I want to talk about reframing what obesity really is. And weight loss just isn't just physical. I want you to understand this. Coming from a homeopathic perspective and having worked with many people that have been obese or overweight. Um, you can't starve stress, really, and you can't punish trauma out of the body. And yet, that's exactly what most weight loss approaches try to do. Most people, they're struggling with weight, or many anyway, and they're not really lacking willpower because in other aspects of their life, they have the willpower. They're exhausted or they're stressed or maybe they're emotionally overloaded or they're stuck in the body that no longer feels safe or cooperative for them. Some people just want to get out of their body. But today we're going to talk a little bit about why weight loss isn't just physical and how homeopathy or holistic medicine that works with energy views obesity not as a failure, but it's a signal. It's a signal. In fact, all illness, all disease, and all imbalances are signals. And we're going to explore why diets so often fail. I've been on diets myself, maybe just a sugar diet or a carb diet, or just want to drop 5 pounds or whatever it is. But the emotional roots behind cravings and how small lifestyle shifts can dramatically amplify healing without force or deprivation. And people that are way overweight, and this may be you, they do feel deprived. They feel terribly deprived. And if weight has ever felt like a battle with your own body, and I'm sure it has from one time or another, this episode is for you. So I first want to touch on why diets fail. And they fail because they focus on controlling everything, not regulation. And they assume that the body is like it's doing something wrong or it's misbehaving. And when really in reality, the body is just trying to adapt. And the body is so perfect at adapting. It works so hard at this. But chronic stress, emotional overwhelm, disrupted sleep, hormonal imbalance, unresolved trauma, all of these shift our metabolism. And we know this for a fact. So when the nervous system is constantly activated, and today there's so many challenges that can create this, the body becomes very protective. It's naturally built in. It's in the animal part of the brain. And the fat storage, it becomes a biological safety response. So, from a homeopathic perspective, excess weight often reflects imbalance in the deep regulatory systems, which are the digestion, your hormones, your emotions, and the stress response. All diets try to override the body. It says, no, you're not doing it right. Do it this way. It's a control situation. And as a homeopath, what it asks is, why is the body holding on in the first place? We want to get to the root. We want to understand how the whole person is functioning. So when you address that question, weight loss stops being a fight and it becomes a byproduct of balance and understanding how you function as a whole person. So, you know, you can really think of cravings, they're messages. They're not really weakness, even though they can feel like weakness, like, oh gosh, I can't have that piece of cake or those cookies or whatever it is. But they're often emotional communications, not nutritional failures. And the question is discovering what is that communication? So sugar cravings may reflect exhaustion. They can actually be grief that you're holding on to or a need for comfort. I know when I reach for a piece of chocolate or a something sweet, I know it's out of something emotional that I'm needing that particular sweet to speak to make me feel better. So, salt or heavy foods may point to burnout or depletion. You may need to fill yourself with that. And salt, we know, regulates water in the system, and water is emotion. So, constant hunger can be a sign of nervous dysregulation and not a lack of discipline, actually. Homeopathy looks at the pattern behind cravings. So we all are pattern people. You may have a realization of what your patterns are, but most time it takes someone that's objective and observant to ask the right questions to figure out what are the patterns, because we don't realize what our patterns are. We don't know why we do what we do. We're not taught to really look at ourselves that way. So when do they show up, these patterns? Morning, noon, and night. What times? Different times of the day reflect different organs and different systems. What emotions are present? What do you feel when you want to go grab that piece of sweet or chocolate after you eat? How does it make you feel? We're always asking, and how does that make you feel? And what does the body feel like it's really missing in your life? That's important to understand. That's important to give that and reflect on that. And remedies are chosen based on the whole person, like I said, including your emotional state, your stress patterns, and how your body responds to pressure. What are your pressures? When do you experience them? What is your reaction to them? And when the emotional load begins to lighten, cravings often soften naturally. You'll find yourself not feeling so forced into it. It's just it's this feeling like, it doesn't affect me the same way. It's a beautiful thing. And sometimes we don't even really notice that's happening until we're asked that question. Well, how is that happening for you now that it's feeling different for you? And oftentimes I hear, oh yeah, I forgot about that, which is a great thing because it's no longer happening in your mind and in your body. So, here's a thought, right? Imagine walking through life carrying a very heavy backpack, or maybe you have actually done that. And at first, you put it on, you get regulated, and it's like, yeah, okay, I can do this, right? And then years pass and responsibilities show up and emotional stresses, more of them happening, unprocessed experiences. We don't give them the time to walk through the whole thing and really feel our feelings and talk about it even or put it down on paper. And the load keeps growing. So eventually your body adapts by slowing down. It's just getting too heavy, like that heavy backpack, and you're conserving energy and you're protecting yourself. So now imagine someone telling you to just walk faster or just carry less weight without ever helping you unpack that bag. That's how many people experience weight loss advice. And I know this because I've heard it from my clients. Homeopathy helps unpack the emotional and the energetic load so that the body no longer needs to compensate through holding or slowing down all those years of carrying that. Healing happens when the system feels supported and not judged. Doesn't that feel good? I mean, really, who feels good being judged? Nobody. What's your reaction in it, right? But when you feel supported, you feel like, we have this great saying in society, I've got your back, right? Yeah. So small shifts that amplify healing. I've got three of them, and they're gentle lifestyle shifts that significantly enhance the body's response to healing, including homeopathic. So the first one is to regulate before you restrict. So you can even put these on your refrigerator or your cabinet or somewhere, maybe on your table when you get up in the morning or where you eat, wherever, right? Put them on your phone because we use our phones so frequently, right? So before changing what you eat, focus on calming down the nervous system. Even 5 minutes, even 3 minutes. Start out with 3 minutes. Don't go to something so much that you have to change so much. Start out very easy because the slowest and easiest ones are the ones that seem to stick the best. So, a few minutes, 5 minutes of slow breathing before meals, that can improve your digestion and your metabolism. And getting to know yourself is very important. And what I mean by that, so ask why you want this particular food. What is talking to you about it and how much you want? Be aware of yourself. It's very important for us to know ourselves better and better, what makes us tick, so to speak. Okay, the second one, sleep is non negotiable, and you've probably heard me say it before. Poor sleep disrupts our hormones, which are tied to hunger and fullness. And those chemicals, boy, they control so much in our system. So, a rested body releases weight more easily than a tired one, for sure. Even if you do go to the gym or you do any kind of exercising, you'll know that when you feel rested and you go out for your walk, or maybe you're doing a little bit of weights, or maybe you do go to the gym, okay, you find it so much easier than when you're really tired and sluggish. And the third one, replace shame with curiosity. So instead of asking, what's wrong with me? And I know so many do, I ask myself that sometimes. Try asking, what is my body trying to protect me from? What's going on here? That shift alone can change so much inside of you. It gets you used to asking yourself, what's really happening and what am I protecting from? Because we know, and it's been talked about so often, that the more weight, the more protecting we are doing, right? So here's what I want you to remember. Here's your takeaway. Weight is not a moral issue. It's not a willpower issue. And it's rarely just a food issue, really. Obesity and a lot of weight is often a reflection of emotional, metabolic, and nervous system imbalance, and the body's intelligent attempt to cope with it. That's what it is. Your body is just adapting. You can't starve stress. You must heal it. And if this perspective resonates with you, follow this podcast for more conversations on emotional health, homeopathy, and just whole person healing. I want to share what my years of experience brings forward. And now, in the next episode coming up, we're going to explore how symptoms themselves are intelligent signals, not problems to science. I'm sorry, to silence us. They're there trying to tell us something, and we're going to just explore this. So I hope you'll join me for the next one. And until then, just keep it simple, and just a little at a time goes a long way. Keep shining your light. Until next time.